Yo, what's up guys? I know this is not a normal video because normally I do edits and montages and things like that, but I really wanted to make a video explaining, some of the tips and tricks that could help you out in Quakecraft. And if you clicked on this video, that's probably what you're here for. Now the first thing I want to say is Rackals, another Quakecraft YouTuber, actually did a video on some easy tips and tricks, so if you haven't checked that out, be sure to go check that out, because it's going to be kind of like a prerequisite. I'm going to expect you to already know some of the stuff to talk about in that video. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out right now. Links in the description. It's only 4 minutes, so just go watch that, come back. And yeah, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is white packs. Now if you notice, the pack that I'm using right now is a really bootleg version of white packs. Obviously there's some ones that are prettier, some ones that are just kind of white like mine, which is kind of janky because I kind of just mashed it up from a pack where everything was white, and then I just added some assets from Cops and Crims and COD and so on. But yeah, there's prettier ones. Some of them are private. You might have to ask around in the Quakecraft community to get your hands on one, or you could just download one online. But basically the idea behind these is that it makes it really easy to see name tags, which, as Rackals talked about in his video, is a key aspect of Quakecraft. Now the second thing I want to talk about is pre-aiming common spots. The more you play, the more you'll realize, people tend to come out of certain angles a lot, and that might be because they spawn near there, or maybe they spawn at the location that you're pre-aiming, but you're just going to want to, every once in a while, aim and shoot in, a constant direction, or somewhere that you just know where people are going to come from. Now I'll try and show on screen a few examples of this, but you basically just have to play it to get the feel of, like, if a lot of people come out of a certain angle frequently, then you might just want to check there every so often and see if you can get an extra kill. Now the next tip is actually going to be 180 frequently, and by this I mean just turn around, check your back. A lot of games you can do this by using F5, but in Quakecraft it's actually more useful to turn around, because if there is a player behind you, you can just shoot and you're already aiming at them. Whereas if you F5 like I did here, I might miss the shot because I wasn't actually aiming at them. So just turn around frequently. You could do a quick 180 if there's no one there, just turn around again. But commonly there are people who will, follow you trying to shoot at you, and if you turn around you might get, a free kill from the person who's there. Another tip is to strafe. Now in Quakecraft, a lot of what people are trying to do is predict your movement, because if they can predict your movement, they can pre-aim you, aim ahead of you, and you basically are running into their beam. But if you're strafing a lot and having really uncommon movement, like walking backwards or just, strafing to the side, if you variate your movement a lot, it's going to make it a lot harder for people to aim at you, which is what you want. And a lot of times if you're playing with really good players, you're going to notice that they're not just walking in straight lines, they're not just, jumping and then falling. They're going to be strafing and trying to variate their strafe patterns. And if you get good at this, you might find yourself in situations where you're kind of like strafing with the other person trying to shoot at each other, but it takes a while because you're both, good at strafing. Another common tactic that, is used in Quakecraft is actually re-peeking angles. If you have a good angle where you can shoot and then go back and cover yourself and then go back and peek and shoot again, a lot of times you can get a lot of kills on this. I see this a lot on Apex 3, I think, where there's, an angle. There's a few angles on Apex 3 where you can do this, but basically if you have a lineup that has a lot of different common spots and you know that people are going to be coming out of there, but you also have cover, you can peek, shoot, cover yourself to wait for your trigger to cool down or whatever, and then go peek and then shoot again. So if you just keep doing this, you can rack up a lot of kills. It might be considered kind of scummy as, camping or whatever. I'm not really sure, but it is a strat to know about. Now I know I talked about this in the beginning, but just to reiterate, tracking players by their name tags is very important. If you see a name tag through a wall, and you see the general direction that they're going, and you know that they're going to be visible in a few, milliseconds or whatever, you can aim at where they're going to be and just shoot them as soon as they come around that corner. Now this helps a lot, especially if you have a white pack. It's really easy to do. You just kind of see where they're going, see where the nearest opening is where you'll be able to shoot them, aim there, and as soon as they get there you can pull the trigger, and you get plenty of warning because their name tag will tell you essentially when they're going to be there. Now, I forgot to mention this in the initial recording, but a lot of times you can actually pre-aim and shoot before they even peek around a corner. So sometimes they might not even be able to see you, but if you shoot just before they get there, as Rackals was explaining in his video, there is sort of a splash radius, so you might even be able to shoot people before they come around the corner if you time it right. And the last thing I want to say about Quakecraft, and this isn't really obvious, you know, just going into it if you're starting out, if you're playing with friends and you want to team, there's essentially no reason to, because if you think about it, you're just kind of forcing yourself to lose kills if you're not killing, you know, certain people. So, I mean, in Quakecraft, just don't team with people. There's really no need. It's fun to play with your friends, but, you know, just play it normally. It'll be a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this video. If you want, you know, Quakecraft edits and stuff like that, leave that in the description. Go subscribe to Rackals' channel. We got something big in the works, so go subscribe there and make sure you don't miss that. And if you want more content, definitely go check out Rackals' channel, because he's probably one of the biggest Quakecraft YouTubers, at least that I know of right now. But yeah, I mean, go check out Quakecraft. It's a really small game, so there's probably going to be 1 or 2 good people there just winning all the time, especially if you're just starting out. So don't expect to be really good right off the bat, but the more practice you have with it and the more time you play it, you know, you'll just get better eventually. It's like most games. And it has a really nice community, so if you want to get more into the Quakecraft community, there's definitely Discord servers, which I will leave a link to in the description, and you could definitely go check that out. So that's it for this video. I'll see you all in the next one.